bit of cue cards because I was stressed out of my mind to speak here. I just started living in English 3 years ago, so I didn't speak really good English before that, so it made me even more interested to speak tonight. So my name is Nadia LaCroix. I'm a registered acupuncturist. I live here in Bedford, and I'm going to practice as of next week. I'm opening my private practice in Halifax and in Bedford. Last time I came here and I saw this, I was like, oh, that would be so cool that I could speak. And then I think 2 days afterwards on Instagram, they posted, anyone want to talk? And I was like, me! So here I am. So my story is a bit different. I'm 40 years old. I decided to redo my life about 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, I became really sick. I actually became blind for 2 years. My brain swelled, and I had blood clot in my brain, and it pushed against my optic nerve, and it started to give me blindness, basically. So I had a lot of time to think during those 2 years and to kind of analyze my life and decide what I wanted to do with it. I was not really supposed to become healthy again, but I promised myself that if I would just quit everything and start over for me. So I did. I became healthy again, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to start over. And I've always wanted to become an acupuncturist, so I quit everything in my hometown in New Brunswick, Carrigat. I packed up an air mattress and 2 camping chairs, and I moved to Bedford to study acupuncture. So if anyone understands the connection between body and mind and body, I really do. So I want to tell you a little bit of secrets. I'm afraid of needles. I've always been all my life. When I go, still to this day, when I go to give blood, I can't look. I'm sweaty. I do small talk that doesn't make any sense with the nurse. And we always joke about, oh, but you're an acupuncturist. I know. Shut up and do your thing. So I want to talk about acupuncture and Chinese medicine tonight to make you a bit more aware of it, make it more approachable, friendly, and if you want to talk to me about it afterwards or add me to social media and text me or talk to me about it, I'm super open about it. So acupuncture, it's a shame that it's usually the last resort that people want to try it. They've tried everything else and nothing works, so they were like, well, I'm just going to go to an acupuncturist. And usually they get out of there feeling way better, and they're like, damn, why didn't do that beforehand? It's completely natural. It has minimum to none side effect. And it's also preventative medicine. That's a big deal. So even if you're healthy, you can still have a regular acupuncture treatment to continue being healthy. It can be part of a healthy, regular routine, like going to the gym, eating healthy, all that stuff. Going to the acupuncture can do that as well. And it's covered by most insurance plans. So that was my plug. What is acupuncture? It's been around for about 3,000 years in Chinese medicine, but it's been around way more longer than that around the world. They've actually found, when I did one of my research, they found a mummified, frozen near-dental someone in the Groenland, and they found that they had acupuncture punctures on the meridians. Excuse me. So what is it? Acupuncture as well is the use of needles inserted on different meridians on the body. And people always ask me, what are the meridians? I could go on and talking about qi and energy and meridians, but I try to keep it simple. So our Western mind, meridians are linked with all of our organs in our body. Every organ has a line that it reverberates to. And our Western mind knows the heart meridian. Because when we have a heart attack, the first place it reverberates is through the left arm, usually. And if it's a bad one, it goes to the right. Well, that line is the heart meridian. Same thing with sciatica. When you have a back pain, sometimes your foot hurt. It's because it's going all the way there. That's your meridian of the gallbladder meridian, actually. So there's a lot of referred pain. That explains a bit why sometimes you put a needle on the foot to treat your back. So what to expect on a visit with me or any other acupuncturist, really. There's a medical form, like physical form, like if you're hurting somewhere and all that stuff. But we also ask a lot of questions about emotions as well, how you feel, if you have any emotions that are more prominent than others. Those emotions are all linked to our inner organs as well. And in Chinese medicine, we always think of the body and the mind together, not separately. We also will look at your tongue. A lot of people laugh at that. It's because 3,000 years ago, there was no x-ray machines. So it was kind of the only way to look inside the human body. And the tongue is a kind of an inner organ for Chinese medicine. And on the tongue, you can find the health of the circulation of the body fluids, and it also gives you a portrait of all the inner organs are all reflected on the tongue. So I've seen tongues that I said like, oh, you must have a cyst on your breast. They were like, whoa, how did you know that? But there's a little place where you can see that. Or you must have heartburn. Or you don't sleep well. And they're always like, but the tongue tells you a lot about your inner health. I ask a bunch of my friends for like questions they would ask, because I don't think about those questions anymore, but I think they're very important. Does it hurt was a huge one. I actually had a patient that fell asleep while I was putting needles in. So it doesn't hurt. If it would hurt, if I would put a needle in and it would hurt, I would actually remove it. Because you're supposed to be laying there relaxing for like 30 minutes, and you're supposed to feel good, not bad. So no, it does not hurt. How many needles do you need? Some people think that, oh, they only put 4 needles. That was not worth it. I'm actually a big thinker of less is more. If you can identify exactly where the problem is in the body, you should not need more than like maybe 10 needles in the body. They don't recommend more than 20. But it all depends on if it's an acute disease or if it's a chronic disease. It depends about a lot of things, but I always think less is more. To give you an example, a couple of weeks ago I had one of the flu that went around, and I woke up in the middle of the night feeling very, like, my throat was very sore and didn't have any lozenges, but I had needles. So I sat up on the side of the bed, I was like, okay, sore throat, I think it's this one on my hand, I'll try it. Because I've tried it a lot in clinic. People told me that it helped, but I've never felt it myself. So I did it on me instantly. The hurt of my throat went away, and I went back to bed with 1 needle. So it's very powerful. How long do we retain the needles in? About 20 minutes to 30 minutes. A whole treatment is about an hour, coming in and out. How many treatments do you need? There's a lot of school of thought on that, about like you might need 7 treatments, and then talk about, again, how you feel, or you might need 12 or 10. I'm more about like discussing with the patient how it feels, and we discuss the progress together. How does it feel after 2? If you feel good after 2 treatments, good for you. I don't need to see you 7 times or 10 times. And it's all about open communication between me and the patient. So what conditions can you treat? That's the fun one that I like to discuss. I practiced in clinic about 3,000 hours at the college, and I have treated an array of conditions, and it opened my mind so much to Chinese medicine and acupuncture. So there's the usual back pain, sciatica, knee pain, anything pain. That I think everybody kind of knows about that. But let me blow your mind a little on what you can treat, actually. A broken heart from a failed relationship. There's a point for that. Or like a grief, someone lost a parent or something. There's actually a point that if you're retaining emotions inside, you're going to burst out crying. And you're going to cry for the whole hour of the treatment, but then you'll leave feeling relieved, like finally that weight is kind of gone. We treat depression, anxiety, insomnia. That's where I want to go with my practice. I want to go more into the psychological side of things. I've treated UTIs, claustrophobia, menstrual issues, fertility, trauma, PTSD, any skin issues like eczema and stuff. Facial rejuvenation, that's a cool one. It's like Botox without the Botox. So we actually insert there are small needles that we use a tweezer to insert them, because I can't hold them with my hand, they're too small. And we insert them on the wrinkles on the face, and it microscars the face. It doesn't hurt at all. And then it gives a signal to the body to heal that place exactly. So it's a way to get Botox without the Botox, basically. IBS syndrome, menopause, malposition of fetus. You can actually turn a baby around with acupuncture. I believe the point is on the foot somewhere. High blood pressure. We've actually had patients in clinic come in, take the blood pressure prior to a treatment, and then take it again once they left, and it was significantly lower. And any disease that a medical practitioner can help you with, acupuncturist can help you with as well. We can help with cold, allergies, all that stuff. I'm actually, one of my practice in Halifax is going to be in collaboration with a medical doctor, so I'm happy that they're finally open up their offices to new kinds of healings as well. So I'll be practicing with one medical doctor in Halifax 1 day a week, and we're going to treat people together, so that's really going to be fun. So my name is Nadia. I'm a registered acupuncturist, but I'm also a registered reflexologist, a Reiki master teacher, certified in facial rejuvenation, and I'm also, this is the new thing that's super cool, I'm a tuning fork therapist, so I treat with musicotherapy and tuning forks. So I took my course with someone from the States that wrote the book about the biofield tuning and energies. So I'm opening my practice next week. I'm still taking new patients because I'm new, but I won't take too much of a load of a patient load. So if you're interested in being one of my patients sometimes, or anyone in there, add me on Instagram. My Instagram is Nadia LaCroix Acupuncture. On Facebook is the same thing, and my website is nadialacroix.com. Thank you.